Hi my name is Nacho, welcome back to the channel, and the official trailer for the live-action adaptation of How to Train Your Dragon just recently released, and let me tell you, the people behind this project really needed Kamala to win. But jokes aside, the level of gaslighting some people attempted in the comment section of my last video was fantastic.
Write that down!
I mean, they really chose to die on the hill that this girl looks exactly like this girl. But unfortunately for them, the time where pointing stuff out like this was punishable by social media death has ended, so here we are again, pointing it out. As I've mentioned before, the How to Train Your Dragon franchise is a $1.7 billion trilogy about a Scandinavian island of Vikings who befriend and become dragon riders after a long history of hunting them. It's a great story about a group of young Vikings led by Hiccup in their journey to completely changing their lives and the lives of the community by learning how to coexist with the beast. However, some changes in the upcoming live action sparked controversy amongst fans. And the director of this new live action, which happens to be the same director of the original trilogy, which I still find to be completely insane, commented on this obvious backlash that came after casting Nico Parker as Astrid, amongst others, saying stuff along the lines that not everyone needs to be white, which is an archy slap to all the idiots saying that Nico is in black.
Shut it or you will get hurt.
That, Roman and Mickey, is the famous Archie slap.
Well, we need to say that if the only non-white actors in this new adaptation are Nico and Julian Dennison. He is probably of the school of thought of that lady from Cleopatra who said, "I don't care what they teach you in school, the original Vikings were black." The thing is, yeah, not everyone in a movie or show needs to be white. We live in a diverse world and you have all sorts of people everywhere. I come from Argentina, a place that is so multicultural that just within my family, I got people who are darker than the night and whiter than the snow. And one of them is ginger. The thing is, the community of Vikings of the island of Berk doesn't need to be white, because they are white. They are Norwegian, and they do not live in modern-day Norway. However, and unfortunately, he expanded on his thoughts regarding the choices made for this film. Astrid was one of the situations where, in the first movie, it felt like she was pretty thin, but she potentially had more depth. What? What sort of ayahuasca is this guy on? The character of Astrid was great in the first movie. She contrasted and complemented Hiccup perfectly. The hardcore Viking girl and the nonchalant pacifist kid who befriends a Night Fury, then he has to convince her and the rest of the village, much to his father's dismay, that there's a better way to go than just killing dragons. So it's pretty odd that all of a sudden we need to expand her now. His mind goes elsewhere. He has the benefit of privilege. He's the son of the chief, and so he coasts by. And it's a great dynamic because Astrid can really call him out on that. So let me get this straight. This new version of Astrid allows her to call Hiccup up on his privilege for being the son of the chief, right? Sure. So the black girl gets to call the white kid out on his privilege? What an interesting coincidence. Just in time for Black History Month, hey? That'll surely get some BBLs on seats. Now, like I said before, I don't think Nico is a bad actress whatsoever. I just find it strange how she's always getting cast in the blonde girl role. And if you're one of those people in the comments saying,
Oh, I think she's perfect for it. She's not even that black.
Shut it.
yeah, well, if people didn't think she was black, she wouldn't be getting this much support. His next argument regarding the changes of the film are based around the idea of an expanded mythology. It sort of broadens the world and gives them a real purpose for why they're on this island in the first place. They're now generations in, they've been mixing it all in. All that sort of nonsense surrounding the diverse casting, I just discounted. I'd love to think of the Vikings as champions of multiculturalism, embracing other cultures into theirs. One blood eagle at a time. Also, he just plainly admitted that there was diverse casting. Devois adds to this, saying that the Vikings traveled the world and engaged with other cultures who also knew about dragons. This is the part that brings around the new diverse Berk, and that retractors of this diversity casting of Astrid and others are too focused on having a historically accurate based film. But he just said that the reason why they're so diverse in Berk now is because the Vikings traveled and interacted with other cultures, traded in the Silk Road, which did happen. So in a way, the film is based on some historical accuracy, adding that the fact that they brought back the best dragon fighters they could find, which is stupid. they were Vikings. They killed everybody they run into, and if they didn't kill them, they would kidnap them and then sell them as slaves. But even if you don't want to focus on those contradicting statements, in another interview he says that the story told in the animated movie has not been changed in the adaptation. Everything pretty much plays the same way, and you can see that in the trailer.
You forgot, our parents' war is about to become ours. Figure out which side you're on.
So if the original movie is good enough to not have to change anything to make it a live action, it comes off as extremely odd that we are suddenly adding all these multicultural aspects to it because of an expanded mythology. I wonder if that expanded mythology explains why remnants also expanded. The premise of the original film and the characters looking like stereotypical Scandinavians served as a simple element of world building to a fictional world where Vikings would hunt and later ride dragons. That's the mythology, that's what people were introduced to, and it worked just fine. This new extended mythology, introduced now, has to be extended to have these new elements added like Black Vikings, Mixed Race Astrid, Fat Roughnut, Ginger Toughnut, Brunette Fishlegs, who also, probably, most likely, is going to have a very thick Kiwi accent that were not present in the original film, and the problem that creates is that it undoes the previously established foundational world building that allowed the animated movie to happen. And my opinion is, it just comes down to laziness. Live action adaptations are inherently lazy. Fucking make a new film. Milking the animated nostalgia cow for every penny can drop has gotten old already, even for a billion-dollar franchise. Sonic worked because it adapted a game character to a different story set in the real world and made it funny and engaging. How to Train Your Dragon is basically adapting the same movie, one-to-one, because according to the director the story worked just fine, but it's also changing core characters and lore because all of a sudden we need to expand the mythology from the first movie because it could have been done better, and we're using this opportunity to do it. So what is it then? Was the original movie beloved by many, fine, or do we suddenly need to improve on things that didn't work? And if so, why now? The fact that Thody Newton is close mates with Gerard Butler might be a crazy coincidence, considering that he's #1 in the call sheet and her daughter just happened to land the main role in this film despite looking nothing like the original character and having no effort put in on making her do so. $8 is what a L'Oreal Excellent Cream 01 Very Light Natural Blonde hair color cost. It's on sale around the corner. If you would get 4-pack of those, you would completely, well, almost completely, nullify the entire backlash to this film.
But who cares, bro? It's an anime movie. It's for kids.
She looks fine to me.
Shut it.
Cried the liberals. Through this movie has the same energy as that new G20 starring Viola Davis as the president. They made that with the idea that business would continue as usual after the last election. However, it didn't. When they have to go through this much efforts to justify abrupt changes, either those changes are not necessary or they were made with the wrong intentions. It has happened before, and it will happen again. But if you watch this fine to really use like, let me know in the comments down below. What do you think about this new live action adaptation? And as always, I've been Nacho, hoping you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.